Look, I'm unstoppable. Forget your defense, nothing but an obstacle. Run it back, switch it up, call it audible. Serving up them Hail Marys till the game over with the showstopper. So hot, you gotta blow on it. I said I'll huff and I'll puff, then I'll pass to my left while I'm looking to my right. Hit him right in the chest. It be looking like magic. Better give me the throne. I ain't talking about Patrick, but I rep my home. I'm never at the end of my zone. I'm bad to the bone. Eating up these pig skins like they chicharrones. And you a douche cabron. Mira, mira at the mirror on the wall. I'm the greatest of them all. They gon' put me in the hall. Your name is only written in a bathroom stall. Quit your stalling and make a play. My drive too long. Pop the clutch, I don't pump the brakes. I know what it takes to gain the muscle, get rugged. These butterfingers be fumbling. Squash the scrimmage and rub it in Robitussin. How I give them concussion. They see in double, they rushing and pass the shovel. The dirt and rubble, I bury them under it. Stay in your huddle and get 10 yards back. Never turn your back. I'ma pull your flag. I go full contact. Out punch, out kick like a shotgun blast on 1 out snap. It's a fact that I'm unstoppable. Forget your defense, nothing but an obstacle. Run it back, switch it up, calling audible. Serving up them Hail Marys.
Can you guys hear me? What's good, everybody? Welcome back to another episode of Horseshoe Mob podcast. Let's go ahead and get into episode. But before that, I'm going to go ahead and introduce you guys. One being the guy's been gone for a whole month, and he is Ryan Van Deaver. What's good, man?
Oh, what's going on, man? All is good over here. Just got back from a family vacation. Yeah, we're back on track.
Yeah, I know you had a good couple of weeks where you was planning and able to get on your trip. So I'm glad you were able to make that trip and come back safe. So yeah, and our other guy is Harish, the legend in these streets. As Colts fans and a Mavericks fan, and
Oh, what's up?
he said that's it.
You guys, I can, Josh. I can barely hear you.
You barely hear me? I don't know what's going on. Let me make sure that I can check that.
Okay.
Let's see. We can go ahead and take over while I'm taking that.
All right. All right. While we wait for Josh to figure out what's going on, of course, got the man, the myth, the legend, the silent assassin, Austin Cook. Austin, what's up, man? How you doing?
What's up? I'm good. How are you? How are y'all?
Well, we're surviving the dog days of the off season, so we're just trying to make it through. Some of us in other sports can't make it through because our teams crashed out at our home regionals, but that's neither here nor there. Nobody's really worried about that or paying attention to that anyway, right? Only like national champions like Tennessee care about that kind of stuff. We don't care about that kind of stuff in Austin because we lose. That's just what we do. All righty, guys. Well, hey, before we get started here, of course, as always, fanbattlesports.com, fanbattlesports.com, where you can get the latest and greatest from the AFC South, including, of course, their greatest team on earth, the Indianapolis Colts, the Houston Texans, the Jacksonville Jaguars, and also the Tennessee Titans, the number one overall pick, the worst team in the league. Get latest information on the latest podcasts, the latest episodes. Check them all out there. Of course, follow us at fanbattlesports.com. You can find us on all the platforms: YouTube, Twitter, TikTok, Instagram. Find us all over the place at Horseshoe Mob. Follow us, like, subscribe down low. Subscribe. Actually, you would subscribe to the right of the video, but comment, like down below. We really appreciate it. And of course, one of our favorites, Teresa, in the house already. Hello, Ryan, Josh, Harish, and Cookie Austin Cookie. I think she just means Austin. So she calls. I won't say Cookie by that. That's something she'll say. But hello, Mr. Cookie, sir. All right, guys. Well, hey, while Josh figures this stuff out, this episode is all focused around Shane Steichen. Right?
Am I
We're
good
gonna.
now?
You are very good. Would you like to continue to take over?
Sure. But you're doing a great job. So I mean, you can go ahead if you need to.
I don't matter to me. I'm fine doing whatever. So yeah, I mean,
Go
I can
ahead.
keep going. All right. This episode is all focused around Shane Steichen. Why are we talking about Shane Steichen today? Well, here's the thing. Of course, with the late great Jim Irsay passing last week, rest his soul, all that, great owner of the Indianapolis Colts. The focus is now shifted. Is the Irsay daughters are taking over the regime, right? Automatically, the first thing we think of from a business perspective, number one, obviously, what's happening to our great fearless GM, who has a losing record in 10 seasons, hasn't really done anything. But then what's the next step down? What's happening to Shane Steichen? And we're going to focus in on Shane Steichen. As you guys know, I think we would all agree that Shane overachieved in year one, right? We didn't know what AR was. There was a lot of confusion there. We didn't know, what was happening. He was a rookie. He was still trying to figure it out. There was a lot of injury stuff. But I think even with the cards that he was dealt, um, he ended up 9-8, and yes, 9-8 is not a record to be proud of. But if we're looking at the circumstances and what we had and what we got going on, I thought that was pretty good. Right now, you expect improvement in year two, and I think across the board we can all agree that didn't happen. So I think we'll start here, and this is kind of how I do it. Let's just answer the question and just one yes, no, and then we can kind of dive into it. Should Shane Steichen be on the hot seat? Austin, yeah.
I want to say no. I'll get into it later, but I'll say no for now.
Ryan, what you think?
Well, everybody in the NFL knows that GMs and head coaches are tied together. Whether or not that's fair is a discussion for a different day.
Yep.
But as it sits right now, Chris Ballard hired Steichen. So they are tied together, meaning if Steichen fails and Ballard fails, they're tied together. And so, yeah, they should both be on the hot seat. Steichen came in here with a pedigree of being kind of like this quarterback guru type of coach with all of these quarterbacks that he coached over the years. And it's kind of been, and it's not entirely his fault because he doesn't construct this team. But at the end of the day, fans, players, and GMs across the league are going to look at your win and loss record.
Yeah, I think that's completely fair. And I actually kind of like to, and that's one of the pieces I want to dive into is this roster construction versus what we think Shane's strengths are as a coach, as a leader, right? Is something I definitely want to dive into. Josh, what do you think? Yes or no? Should he be on the hot seat?
With a 17-17 record, I would say yes. I would say yes.
Really?
Yes, I would say he should be on the hot seat. I'd be the devil advocate because of that. Having it could be roster, it could be quarterback, could be defense. I mean, everything. All that could be play a factor in why he should be on the hot seat. He hasn't done enough, in my eyes.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, you know what? I don't know what to think. Honestly, part of me says yes, he absolutely should be on the hot seat. The other part of me says, well, maybe, but then part of me is also like, no, I don't think it's fair. So I'm just gonna go with yes, he should absolutely be on the hot seat, right? And here's my thing: when you have your expectations set so high in year one and completely understood, hey, whatever, he overachieved in year one, but then he vastly underachieved in year two. So year three is really, who are you? Are you the overachiever, right? Are you the underachiever, or are you just kind of mediocre? And to me, the hot seat is you can't be mediocre. You obviously can't be bad, but you absolutely cannot be. You cannot go 9-8 again. Anything
Yeah.
that is 9-8 or worse is uh, detrimental to this. And what we talk about like, hey, well, what can we do to see if he is the guy or if he isn't the guy, or if we're even talking about what is the baseline for Shane to keep his job, what can Shane do to help his case? Josh, what do you think?
Number one, make sure his quarterback, whoever starter is with his Daniel Jones or Anthony Richardson, make sure that guy has all the tools, the right plays. First, got to be a great play caller. Either give up the play caller or just be great at his job, which is right now he's calling plays. So put his quarterback in best position and make the right reads, right, make the right plays to make sure that his offense flow as it should. That's the only way he can keep his job in my eyes.
What do you think, Ryan?
It's it's kind of tricky because the big thing for me is the win-loss record, obviously. But just like what Josh said with the 17-17 record, you can't have another 9-8 season. Now, that just can't happen. If that happens, then he's definitely, I won't say definitely, but the curve is going to say that he needs to be replaced. Because what people outside of the Colts fan base don't understand is Colts fans have been patient for a
Oh yeah,
very long time, over a decade now. And so we really just we need to see some kind of substance out of this team now, because we haven't won anything in quite some time. And yeah, man, it's just it hasn't looked good, and the coaches they need to do something. And if they need to fire Ballard and Steichen at the same time and just start from scratch, then do it. At least you're showing the fan base of the Colts that you're trying to do something.
yeah. I'd like to pose a question, and just a quick sidebar here. Um, uh, is it Carly? Carly Ursay is kind of taking over football operations, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
She's kind of been in the weeds quite a bit. We could probably argue the last 10 years, but really the last 5 years, I think she's really dug in, right? If you're Carly Ursay, what is the baseline minimum from an achievement standpoint that Shane would have to hit to say, you know what, I'll give you another year? Like, what is the minimum? And that could be, hey, AR is improved, or AR stats are this, and Shane is the reason why this happens. Or it could go as far as like, if you don't win a playoff game, it's not good enough. What do you think that minimum baseline? If we're trying to put an accolade or a success criteria behind it, what does that accolade look like to you? And then I'll get back to the original question at hand.
I mean, I would say the improvement of AR. They came in together. Uh, when I say improvements, his stats are uh, higher than the past 2 seasons. I know he played 5 games first year. Last year he played, I think, maybe 8 or 9 games. I think 10 games,
Yeah.
and he still was mediocre. Uh, so if we see better numbers uh, from last year, improved spikes, significant, we can see Shane staying possibly.
What if AR improves but the record stays the same?
I think since he's tied to the hip with AR, I think he still probably stay in. This is his season is based off AR.
Yeah.
Okay. So your success criteria is like, the record is what it is, but if I see improvement and I know that my top guy is the top guy, like this is my quarterback,
Yeah.
then that's good enough for you. Okay, that's interesting. What about you, Austin? What do you think? Like, what success criteria would you put behind this question?
Well, You'd like to think that it's the playoffs, like making the playoffs, because we've been close past couple years, but we just too mid to make it. So you would think maybe to keep your job, win games, make the playoffs.
So making the playoffs. What about you, Ryan?
I mean, it's just like the record that I predicted. That wasn't just a prediction. That's a baseline. Need to have that as a minimum
Yeah.
in order
Us
to
getting
get
seven.
that and you'll get into the playoffs. I mean, the AFC is a little bit wonky at times, so maybe you won't get into the playoffs with what I said 11 wins or something like that. So
Yeah.
you're definitely gonna have to hit that minimum baseline right there. Like you got to get 11 wins. You got to show us something because it's been completely ineptitude in Indy for a few years now. And just like you said, quarterbacks are tied to their coaches. Well, quarterbacks are tied to their GMs as well.
Yeah.
So if AR does not do good this season, then what are you going to do with AR? Are you just going to say, okay, he's on the trade market. We'll trade him for a sixth or whatever, and then just start over fresh.
I think the baseline for me, it's got to be you have to win the division this year. That sounds really really crazy. That sounds like almost like over like setting expectations. But here's the thing, Ryan, you already mentioned this before. We've been doing this dog and pony dance for too long, right? Or whatever that saying is, or running around track, whatever you want to call it, right? It's been way too long, right?
Yeah,
Way too many years of being over, almost getting there, almost one more win, making another change, you know, scapegoating everybody in the organization but the top, right? I think we've done enough of that. I think this has to be this year. This is the way I see this, and this could be tied to Ballard as well, which something I'd be interested in getting into. When you finally make the moves that this team has made, like they finally have, I think in from a substance standpoint, I think they finally moved the needle. I think they finally went and got some guys that can be impacts on this team before the draft, right? Obviously, I think we had a. This is probably the best free agency Chris Ballard has had in his entire 10 years that he's been here. It's wild
without
to
a
say
doubt.
that, right?
Without a doubt. Yeah.
And I don't think it's anywhere close. And I think we would all agree with that. You pair that with bring in Tyler Warren, a guy who's supposed to be um, bring in Tyler Warren, a guy that's supposed to be AR's safety blanket. That's how I view him. He is the number one tight end on this team. He is AR's safety blanket. He is the guy that will be the safety blanket for Anthony Richardson, right? If you look at how much he dumps the ball down to the tight end and how much it failed him last year, I think it will help him succeed this year. Keeping drives alive, all that fun stuff. I'm still not convinced that Houston is like this juggernaut in this division. You could argue they've taken some steps back, right?
Yeah, I was gonna mention that.
You could argue that they've taken some steps back. This division is still winnable, and if you cannot win it this year, and that formula doesn't include, and your path to get there, I think matters too. It has to include winning in Jacksonville, winning the first game of the season. Can we, for the once of life, like in like 700 million years, start the season on a positive note? Like to me, that sets the stage. If you lose week one, all hope is lost. And to me, that's where like the crash out begins for the fan base. Like if you go 0-1, I get it. Hey, it's just one game. It's the first game of the season. Try telling a fan base that for 12 years in a row. Try telling a fan base that, hey, guys, don't worry. You still got 15, 16, 17 more weeks to figure this out. Well, guess what? We've had 15, 16, 17 weeks to figure it out for 12 years in a row. And for more times often than not, we have not been able to. So I think the expectation is, how do you start? Are you using these months to prepare for that first game of the season? I think that's where this really starts. It's how do you
Yeah.
come out with one? You have to set the stage
Well,
right.
but the comments is, you know, Ballard should be in the hot seat. I mean, we already know he should be in the hot seat.
Oh, he's
He'll be
already.
right.
I think Ballard is on the hot seat. I could see this is the one move that I could see happening. If this team, let's just say, is like 2-5, 3-6, 4-7, something like that by mid-season. The one move that I could 100% see happening as you look at a different regime. I think
Yeah.
Ballard could get fired mid-season. I honestly think this is the year. This is the regime that basically says that's not good enough for me, right? Like we've been doing this for way too long, and that's just not good enough.
He said there'll be
Um,
tailgate. We haven't yet. We haven't gotten together yet to tailgate, but that's in the future as well.
I think we've all been places individually
Yeah.
watching games, but I don't think honestly I don't think the four of us have ever met each other in real
I
life.
met Austin.
Oh, I've met Josh. I've met
Yeah, I met you too. Yeah.
yeah. I've never met Ryan. I've never met Austin, and I don't think we've all ever been in the same place at the same time.
I think I actually drove through your neck of the woods
Oh,
last
you
week,
drove
dude.
to my neck
I
of the woods?
drove through Houston. I drove through Dallas. Went to Galveston. Yeah, I was all over the place.
I live in Austin,
I got
so
the
unless
hottest
you
heat on the planet. Yes, he
Never
does.
mind. Never mind.
no, you
Oh.
avoided me is what you tried to do, and I see you. You went the other way around to get to Dallas. You took that miserable 4-hour ride, and I'm sorry you had.
Wow.
It was very miserable. Yeah.
Very very brutal.
Well, what I would say, Harish, you made a point, but you know this division been winnable for the past 3 seasons. I mean, we've seen Tennessee. Tennessee, they had a 2 or 3 game lead before they end up choking the division to Jacksonville. We've seen the Texans win the past 2 seasons, 1 game away. You know, they won the last game to get in past 2 seasons. So it's not far fetched to say that, you know, it's winnable for any team, especially us. I mean, we got a well-round roster this time. Finally, we got one of those rosters where we can compete. We don't. I don't talk about injuries often, but we see that CJ
Mm.
Stroud is not practicing. I think he got a AC joint injury that they're trying to be cautious on. Anything can happen, you know. Anything. I'm not saying that I want to be happy that he's out. I want everybody to be starting and playing because I know how it is without having a starting quarterback playing. We've seen that with Peyton Manning. We've seen that with AR. We've seen it with Andrew Luck. So I don't want to wish anybody to not have their quarterback, but it just shows that teams can take step backs, and him not being, you know, being able to throw to his new targets, it definitely can help us as far as chemistry wise. Him being on the field with his receivers and other targets. So, yeah, what you said, it makes sense.
I have a question. Oh, sorry to cut you off there.
You go ahead.
I have a question for you guys.
Yeah.
So I am in the very small boat of media personnel that don't believe that Arch Manning is going to be coming out this season. So what happens if AR progresses, just not as much progression as all the fans want?
Mm-hmm.
Do you keep him for another year and wait for Arch Manning, or do you just completely sink the ship and get rid of Ballard, get rid of Steichen, get rid of AR, and just kind of tank for Manning again?
Arch Manning, first off, thank you for having a brain. I'm glad you do. I would say I know this. Arch Manning is playing 2 years at Texas.
Yeah.
100%. Arch Manning knows that. Manning family knows that. Steve Sarkisian knows that. Texas Fan Battle Podcast knows that. We all know it, right?
Yeah.
Arch Manning is playing this year and next year. Even if he wins the Heisman and Texas wins the national championship, Arch Manning is staying for 2 years. This is just how they operate. This isn't like rocket science.
There's no Mannings that have not stayed 4 years.
Nobody can tell me any Manning that's not. They believe in 40 starts. And in order for Arch to get, he has 3. He'll probably play 14 to 16 games this year. He's probably going to play 16 games, barring injury, right? and that puts him right around that 35. So he is one, and they are adamant on that 30 plus.
But like
What
you
do you
said, everybody keeps saying we're going to tank this year. Uh, I mean, even like what Ryan said. I mean, even if he progresses just a little bit, just 10%. Um, I mean, just roll it back. 2026, and that's what the opportunity lies there, where you have a better quarterback. Because I don't like the next year's quarterback class. So at least we know for a fact, having Arch definitely put us in contention moving forward. But that's if Shane Steichen. We don't know what Shane Steichen's going to be at either, so it's going to be tough.
But
Yeah.
here's the thing: even my problem with this team is even when the quarterback play isn't great, they're still, for whatever reason, I don't understand why, good enough to not be really, really bad.
Yeah,
So let's just say IR doesn't get any better this year.
Right.
There's no guarantee that this team still doesn't win 6, 7, 8 games and ruin their chance
Who
at
you
getting
gonna,
a top pick.
what are you going to bring in? Scott Tolzien off the retirement market again?
Yeah, like I mean, I think that's the problem. Is it's not just about benching AR just to tank. You have to have a lot of things. Like you have to be really bad in some
Yeah.
instances, and this team is just not built to be bad. Unfortunately, we're just built to be mediocre, right? Um, and so, Austin, what do you think? Like, let's just say AR. Let's just say AR gets 5% better. What do you think the plan should be moving forward as we head into knowing Arch is coming out in 2027, right? What do you think the plan should be moving
So, I mean, if he gets better, we're obviously winning 8, 9 games again. So we're not in the position to draft a quarterback next year. I don't think by like no matter what happens this year, I don't think we're losing enough to be top 10 pick, top 5 pick. Um, so it's hard to say to like unless we trade up and get whoever goes off this year, DJ Lagway, Sellers, whoever. So if that doesn't happen, I don't know if we stick with AR or if we get somebody in free agency, start Daniel Jones or something. But hopefully the goal would be to get Arch the next year. That's what I would hope if we don't want to stick with AR.
forward? I just don't think this team will ever be bad enough to be number one pick worthy. Like the
it
way
don't
it's
it don't, it don't seem like it though. Yeah, it don't feel like we'll be a ass team, with
yeah,
all that talent.
Yeah, I mean we're not the
Yeah.
right.
Titans.
Yeah, we're not starting tight ends at left tackle. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Wow.
Not
Yeah.
saying they are either, but I just they gotta be doing. You know what I mean? We're not making running backs, defensive tackles or anything crazy. Hey, shout out to my guy Tavon. Like that guy's, but yeah, I just don't think this team is like even if we were to say, hey, even Daniel Jones in some people's minds could be an upgrade from AR today, and that's kind of like the idea is like, is Daniel Jones an upgrade? If it, and this is an interesting comment. Your guys' thoughts. Daniel Jones can be an NFL starter. You guys know, and I've told you guys this before. There are guys in this league that are treated like they're bad when all reality they're just in bad organizations. And the perfect example of this is my guy, my goat, Sam Darnold. Sam Darnold under the Minnesota Vikings, right? Was not very good. Was not very bad at all. It was actually pretty good, right? And then now he's where Seattle, if I'm not
Yeah.
mistaken.
Hmm.
And yeah, sure they gave away DK Metcalf, but he's not under a bad organization like Seattle. Like that organization knows what they're doing. They know how to operate. Um, and I'm a big proponent of if this organization is not completely brain dead, which I don't think they are, although they try to act like it sometimes. I don't think Daniel Jones. I think Daniel Jones could succeed if the pieces are in the right place.
It's just consistency with him,
Yeah,
though.
I'm about to say
It's
that.
always been consistency. He's had one good year throughout his entire career. And that's just a massive red flag no matter where you go. So you
Sure.
go to the Vikings. I mean, he went to the Vikings and he straight up said, "Okay, I know I'm not going to be the starter here. I'm going to go to Indianapolis where I can battle a young Anthony Richardson."
Yeah.
So I just
But you
consistency,
have to
man.
have an organization that helps build consistency too. The Giants have done literally nothing for him for the
Yeah.
last 5 years. Look at his receiving core. Finally, last year they finally got him a number one receiver. After what, 6 years? His number one receiver for 3 of those years was the tight end who couldn't stay healthy. And then and then that tight end they ended up, sending off to Jacksonville,
Well,
who again couldn't stay healthy down there.
I got to respond to that with the consistency part and building part. Well, isn't that the same case as the Indy building? I mean, the Andrew Jones come to a team where who's your number one receiver? You said Michael Pittman's not a number one receiver. Okay, your next guy will be, Josh Downs. Then you got Alec Pierce, you got Eddie Mitchell. Can Daniel Jones raise the level of all those guys that I just mentioned?
Or can those guys raise the level of him? Could they work? Could they work? And the thing is, here's the thing: if you take a yes, I don't believe Michael Pittman Jr. is a number one receiver. Completely
Mhm.
understood, right?
Yeah.
I still believe that, and you guys try to force me, and you guys try to indoctrinate me to feel differently, and
It
I
worked.
won't
It worked the
stand for
previous
that.
year. Last year,
I
he
won't
got
stand
injured.
for that behavior anymore because I will stand by my I'm standing on my own 2 feet, and I'm correct. He's not a number one receiver, but is he better than every receiver before? Obviously, Malik Neighbors. Would he have been a number one receiver in New York? 100%. Like before Malik Neighbors, are you telling me that Michael Pittman Jr. wouldn't have been the number one receiver in New York?
Oh yeah.
So if things work out great, then these receivers, as much as you feel like, as much as you say, hey, can he raise the level of those receivers? Can those receivers raise the level of him? And I think that's that like that question is equally needs to be asked is can he find somebody like a Josh Downs or an AD Mitchell or some of these younger guys, can he connect with those guys and they build a relationship and they build chemistry? Yeah, it could absolutely happen. Him and Josh Downs could be exactly what they were looking for each other. Daniel Jones is a short, throw the ball short merchant, which is fine. Good for him that he's got two receivers that are excellent route runners. He's got Josh Downs, he's got AD Mitchell, and that's probably what he needs. I don't know. Well, we'll see. And then this is a great call out. His offensive lines were terrible every year, even with Malik Neighbors. He wanted to throw the ball down. It was like having Frank Reich as his head coach. Brian Dable wanted to throw the ball 800 yards a game, but he had no offensive line. And then he had literally the dumbest GM of all time, basically Nico Harrison, the Giants, by trading off Saquon Barkley. And then look what
You're never gonna
like,
let
yeah,
that go, man. You're never gonna let this
no,
go.
I'm never gonna let that go.
You're never gonna let this go.
I'm never gonna
You're never gonna let this
listen,
go.
Josh. You are never going to tell me to let go. I don't care if I'm getting another generational talent.
I know.
We let go of a generational talent in his prime. You
Yeah.
cannot tell me one time in the history of life where you saw that happen.
I
No,
haven't.
I will never let it go. And there's nothing that you can tell me to do so.
Well,
But
I was just gonna say before you let somebody else speak. It just, I mean, Daniel Jones. I mean, yeah, big market New York. You can't say you can't argue that he didn't have offensive line, didn't have all the weapons. He did have a running back and one tight end and okay receivers. They didn't give him much receivers other than the guy from the Lions, that Galloway guy they overpaid, who got cut, and then is it Sterling Shepard? Sterling, yeah, another receiver. So I can agree with that. Um, but I also go back with to say is, can Shane get the best out of any quarterback? He's supposed to be the quarterback whisperer. Same thing like Frank Reich was. He had how many quarterbacks? He had Gardner Minshew, he still got AR, Joe Flacco. Now he on if Daniel Jones starts, he head down to another quarterback, and still 9-8, or 8-9. It's difficult to see what another quarterback this guy here been in the league with 6 years. He's been in the league 6 years, and we're saying he can be a starter. Sam Darnold, yeah, he bounced around from the Jets, bounced around different teams, and got his footing with the Vikings. But you also have Jetta on that end. You got one of the greatest receivers right now in the league. But now he goes to Seattle, where you got Cup, who's probably on the other end of his prime. So I don't know. But yeah, I don't. You guys can elaborate on that as well.
Yeah, completely fair point. Tyler says, yeah, why would you ever trade anybody in the division is second? That doesn't make sense. So yeah, I think that's definitely important to hear. So I don't know. Any final thoughts on what happens from a quarterback perspective?
They didn't trade him though. They just let him walk. They didn't trade him. He was a free agent. He went back home.
Yeah.
Who's that? Daniel?
Huh?
Wait, they didn't let who
Saquon.
walk?
They
Oh,
let Saquon walk. He was a free agent. They let him walk, and he went to Philly.
well, that's the problem. They just let him walk.
Yeah,
Like,
and it.
would you agree that Saquon Barkley is a generational talent?
I can't hear you.
Would you agree that Saquon Barkley is a generational talent?
Oh yeah, you see what he can do, and also run game and passing. In the passing,
Right.
yeah, he was deadly. He's on the cover because of the Jags.
Then you're right.
I mean,
You're right. They didn't even get potato chips for him. That's even worse.
yeah. So
But here's the thing. So Chris says Sam Darnold needed an ideal situation to finally be as good a solution as he did all the time. Well, then my point for years has been every quarterback is a situational quarterback.
yeah,
Every quarterback is a system quarterback. I've been arguing this for years. Look at. I don't want to talk about terrible teams and divisional teams. Look at Trevor Lawrence. That dude was titled generational talent, but people forget how much talent Dabo Sweeney had at Clemson those years. Like, it was insane the amount of NFL talent he had all around him. You go to Jacksonville, they can't build a team to save their life. And now Trevor Lawrence is touted as like one of the, I wouldn't even say worst, but like mid-tier quarterbacks in the entire league because they can't build a team around him. And does Travis Hunter move that needle? I don't know. Like, Travis Hunter is a generational talent himself, but I don't know if that's. Is this better?
yeah.
Okay,
Yeah.
it's just me. Okay, sorry. I don't know if I don't know if he's a good quarterback or not because Jacksonville can't ever build a team around him, and I don't know, as good as Travis Hunter is, I don't know if he's the guy to help push it over the needle. I'm not sure. So
To me, and this is a hot take. To me, is that when you give a guy like Trevor Lawrence weapons, he had weapons since he's been there. But he had 3 different coaches. Okay, you want to blame Urban Meyer? Cool. Okay, you want to blame Doug P, who's a Super Bowl champion? Cool. Now you're going to guide this OC from Tampa Bay. What can he do? He sounds like he's a weird coach anyway, but what can he do? Can he bring? I didn't.
Got a weird
Yeah, weird
GM too.
GM
hey,
who was like 34 years old. So I mean, what? I don't know. I mean, you're giving this guy everything, and this guy still has not become what he was projected to be when he got drafted. Andrew Luck was projected that way, and he started out 11-5 the first 3 seasons. But then, Ryan Grigson happened. So, and then you had a bad head coach in Chopagano. But I mean, he had one head coach his entire tenure as a coach. So, well, 2. Trevor
but
Lawrence
Andrew
had
Luck
3 coaches.
is the definition of generational talent.
Correct.
because
Yeah.
he was able to perform and win despite the monstrosity of a roster that Ryan Grigson put around him.
Right.
That's what generational talents do. Like, they win at no, especially at the quarterback position. They win at no cost. And yeah, Patrick Mahomes is the winner. But Patrick Mahomes is not a generational talent. He found a coach, he
Hmm.
found a system, he found a GM that put the right pieces around him around his skill set, and then using
Yeah.
it. Like Patrick Mahomes was just an okay college quarterback.
I can
And
agree with that. You
yeah,
definitely.
it was just an okay college quarterback.
He was not that guy coming out of college. Nobody ever said anything about Patrick Mahomes was going to be generation. We did not see that. Like you said, having Andy Reid helps his job a lot better than going to the NFL. What happened? JGM looks like.
Bruh, that's uncalled for.
But
Uncalled.
that's yeah. So I mean, Trevor Lawrence. I mean, we can all agree that he had the talent around him. Got his running back from his college team. That's not working out. So now you got Tank, whoever's got name, Tank Bisley. I mean, he
Oh
just
yeah,
keep giving. Calvin Ridley gave him that. Now you're on to Travis and Brandon Thomas Jr. I mean Brian Thomas Jr. I'm sorry. You're giving him talent, and he keep drafting top 10 2 years into his 6 years, 5 years in the NFL. He helped led his team to drafting high.
is this his fifth? Is this his fifth year?
Fifth year, I think, or fourth year, fifth year
Is
into the
he?
league.
Did he sign an extension
Yes, last year.
for how long?
I think it was like a 4 year, 100 million, something like that. He's averaging like things like a 40 a year or 30 something a year. Let me take a look. I don't know offhand.
If I was Trevor Lawrence, I would have never signed an extension.
I mean, he got nothing else to do. I mean, where is he going to go unless he go to a team like the Rams?
Well, the Rams don't want to get up on that.
So he signed a 5 year, $275 million contract in 2024.
Yeah. Ryan, any other thoughts from Ryan? Ryan, Tyler says y'all are too quiet. I think we're talking too much.
Okay.
Ryan, Austin.
Hey, I'm just letting y'all go. It's just,
I'll let Austin go ahead and go.
I will never have any respect for the Jaguars organization or Khan for that matter, because like how many quarterbacks do you need to draft and still suck year after year? Like you had that 1 year where you went up into the playoffs and played the Chiefs, and then we all know what happened there. But after that, it's like Trevor Lawrence looks like a shadow of himself from that year. So I don't know. It's just it goes back to this division in my eyes. The Colts can win this division. Yeah, I'm not going to talk about injuries. We all know it's a massive effect. It happened in the cornerback room last season, but let's just say Anthony Richardson doesn't play up to par, and they bring in Daniel Jones. Daniel Jones has not had an offense like this. So I will piggyback off of what you said earlier, and you made a very fair point there. He hasn't had an offense like this. The Giants are a dumpster fire year after year after year. I mean, they let Saquon Barkley walk for nothing. So it could go either way. It's going to be interesting to see how it plays out for sure.
Yeah, no, I would agree with that. What do you think, Austin? Just in general, like let's just say Daniel Jones starts. What do you think his trajectory?
If Daniel Jones starts,
Yeah, let's just say AR is benched and Daniel Jones starts. What is his trajectory in your mind?
I mean, I think he can still win games with the team we have. I don't think he's gonna be better than what AR would be. Like I think AR's running helps him a lot, and I don't think Daniel Jones is as good of a runner as AR. And their accuracy, I think, is similar. I think Daniel Jones can be more accurate from what we've seen. but like they said, consistency hasn't been there anywhere he's been, whether it was Giants. I don't know if he played for the Vikings, but just consistency for both quarterbacks is the problem.
Mhm.
I think as we tie this all back together, kind of went off on tangents there, just converse.
Oh,
What do y'all think of Rick Carlisle turning down almost $100 million?
he did. I don't.
Idea.
I know the UConn coach did turn it down, but I don't think
Oh,
Rick
to
Carlisle.
coach the Lakers and the Nuggets.
I don't.
Did that happen?
I didn't know that.
Yeah. But Rick Carlisle. Hey, since we're talking about the Pacers and they're in the finals, and it is Indianapolis related, Rick Carlisle wanted Tyrese Halliburton. He wanted to be tied to Tyrese Halliburton. He wanted Tyrese Halliburton in Dallas, and he wanted to make Luka Tyrese like a duo. And of course, Donnie Nelson's a moron and said no. So Rick Carlisle left. And listen, look, when you have coaches, we can say the exact same thing. Tyrese Halliburton was okay in Sacramento. Let's just call it spade. He was okay, but also again, terrible organization. Didn't build the right team around him. Had coach after coach after coach cycling in and out. And he finally went to a coach that believed in him and believed in the way that he played and built a team around him. Rick Carlisle has always been an offensive genius. I mean, that's his MO. And he finally found a guy that worked for him. So, I mean, I guess you think about it now, hindsight's 20, 50, 50, 20, 30, 30, 30, he turned down $100 million, but he's in the NBA Finals. So,
Yeah, I mean, I don't know when he was offered a job or when that was. Well, I mean, we did get a championship out of who we got, which was Frank Vogel. So I'm not, Rick Carlisle not a bad coach. He just went back to the team that he started out with, Indiana, and he went back and it helped him. Of course, he made trades to get, Pascal Siakam, who was the East Conference Finals MVP. So, I mean, it definitely panned out to get other guys in to win, because you can win with Victor Oladipo. You couldn't win with Dante Sabonis. So, I mean, you're winning with the guys you have now, which is a great offense, great team, great young team to build from. Question is sustaining that winning culture for the foreseeable future, because we see what OKC can do for the next 10 years. They got a team that can build for the next 10 years. So we don't know if the Pacers can do the same thing, because they didn't get those amount of picks that OKC been getting, and they got top picks, protected picks moving forward. So I mean, they can keep going if they don't win this year, which I got the Pacers winning, by the way. So shout out to them
hey,
being
I'll
Oh
finally.
my
go ahead and
gosh.
ruin what we were going to ask later.
My bad. Yeah.
Yeah, Austin, any thoughts there?
I don't know.
Austin says Rick Carlisle's a moron for not tanking.
Go Heat.
Ryan,
Oh yeah, he is a Heat fan.
he's a what?
He's a Heat fan.
Oh, geez.
Austin is. So they traded away a generation talent as well. They traded away Jimmy Butler.
Did they know Jimmy Butler's not generation? To me, there's only two generational talents in the NBA. Actually, maybe three. And you guys, and one is like 95 years old.
Who?
There's only three generational talents in the league right
Who? NBA?
now. Who?
Somebody in the NBA?
Yeah, in the NBA.
Okay, who?
I mean, LeBron James, obviously, at the tail end of his career, was a generational talent.
Okay.
Luka is a generational talent.
And
Steph Curry, or generational talent.
oh, okay. I was like, I was listening to that. What about SGA? I know you don't like him. I know. Yeah, you've been talking.
SGA is a generational merchant.
He's only 25 years old too, so
Yeah, he's in his
you
prime.
can't really.
He's a SGA is James Harden 2.0 with the better.
Oh, I don't know about that, man.
He is a
I don't
free
know.
throw
James Harden don't
merchant.
play defense.
Neither
Yeah.
does SGA, and he is a free throw merchant.
Yeah, it's gonna be interesting to see how they officiate this finals. I don't know if it does like
Might
if
not
it
have to do much officiating because Indiana doesn't play a lot of.
you did what?
They might not have to do a lot of officiating because Indiana doesn't play a lot.
Oh yeah,
So we might get a bunch of like high scoring games in this.
oh yeah.
But um, uh, any other thoughts on the Colts before we talk NBA Finals and get everybody's predictions?
Well, I did want to mention because I was listening to Sick Podcast Amble show earlier, and we didn't own up to our bet. We didn't honor our bet from last
What
year
was
for
our
the
bet?
that whoever won the fantasy football, the loser has to say something good about the division. So we got to collab with Chris and
Yeah. How do we prove that we've done that though? Can I just say the Jaguars colors are pretty? They
I,
have
mean, I
really
guess
cool
we I
colors.
guess yeah I guess we can't say it now. That way it'll be our honoring our bet. So before I'll let Austin go before his phone go dead. Go ahead, Austin. Say something.
Oh,
Oh,
too
well,
late. Dang. He said,
hey,
"Nah,
I'll
bro, I'm
look.
out of
Dang.
here. Something nice. I'm out of here."
Oh, well, I will say something nice. Okay. Uh, Houston has the best city out of all of the teams that we play.
He said, "Say something nice, not lie about something."
I can't. I've never been to Jacksonville, so I can't.
So
I've never
you
been to
don't.
Tennessee.
It's the other three cities. I was like, wait,
Yeah,
Nashville's not better than Houston?
I ain't never been to Houston. I mean, never been to Nashville or Jacksonville, so I can't say. Of course, I can say something great about the Indiana, but I'm just saying something nice about somebody.
So now do we have to say something nice about someone or something about?
Well, we got to say something nice about the team. Okay.
Oh, about the team. Cool, awesome. Ryan, what you got?
Stroud has nice hair.
Hey, that's what's up.
All right,
That's what's
Teresa.
up.
You have a great one.
Yeah. I really like the fact that Tennessee drafted a Texas Longhorn. See, that's nice.
There
Okay.
you go.
Well, I'll say this then. Tennessee, New Jersey concept is pretty nice.
Are we done saying nice things?
Yeah, we done.
All right. Yeah, that jersey sucks. Anyway,
When are the Colts gonna spruce up their jerseys? Come on.
Hey, we got new ownership now.
we'll see. Yeah, I guess we'll see.
Does she have a clothing line? I'm
You have a
just
good week
curious.
too, Teresa.
Yeah, you have a good week too. I don't know. I think isn't one of the girls like fashionably like
I don't know. I won't know. We won't know any.
the youngest one maybe.
Who's the youngest?
There's 3 daughters, right?
Yes,
Carly definitely isn't the youngest. I don't know what the youngest one's name is.
Karen. I thought Karen maybe the middle baby.
And her name's Karen. She definitely.
Yeah, her name is Karen. But I think she's the only one that's not. She is married. He's Karen Jackson. And you got Say Gordon. I think the other one is not married.
Casey Foyt.
Huh? They all
Her name is Casey.
okay. That's the other daughter.
Wait, yeah, I think that's the youngest. Let me see.
Casey, Carly.
No, yeah. She could be the one.
Carly.
No, Casey.
Okay.
Let me see. Casey Foyt is her name.
One is married too.
Foyt.
It's probably one. They all married then.
No, man, I don't know. I have to look this up because she looks like. Why did I look up Casey Foyt in this picture of Remember the Titans came out? That's kind of weird. Okay. But hey, I don't know. I think that's what I know of. I don't know who's AJ Foyt Jr. Do you know?
I don't know.
What is his relevance to society?
Let me pull up that information. Yeah, I don't know. I never heard of him. AJ Foyt Jr.
I have a nice house. You know
I don't know. Like, I don't know him.
that's kind of lit. This house is kind of cool.
You found it?
No, I found their house.
Oh, oh yeah. Yesterday they had the funeral, the private ceremony for Jim Irsay. Yeah, it was June 2nd. Yeah, they had it yesterday. So yeah, they buried him yesterday.
Oh, he's a
Uh,
race car driver. Okay. He drives in circles for a living, so he's not relevant. Anyway,
wow.
but thanks, Teresa, for that information. AJ Foyt drives in circles for a living. That's what's
Okay, thank you.
um,
Yeah.
yeah, we appreciate it. Awesome. Well, hey guys, let's get out of here. Real quick. I'll go ahead and shout out Cookie Austin, Cookie Monster, Cookie Austin. Cookie. What's his Twitter?
It's in the bottom right here. I'll put it up there.
Cookie. Dang it, this is so embarrassing. Cookie Austin too. Right, y'all can reach out to him. Cookie Austin too. Josh, where can the people find you?
You find me at the bottom there. Who is Josh Senior?
Awesome. And Ryan, where can the people find you?
You can find me at Hot Zone Sports and on Twitter, HZS Ryan Van Dever. And you can find me on YouTube as well.
Awesome. And of course, you guys can find me at the Uncle Gandhi with here, obviously Tuesday nights with the boys, and then Thursday nights with my boys. Hopefully, this Thursday we'll be celebrating a softball national title because we took down Oklahoma, the almighty Oklahoma, our little sisters that we don't care about. Yeah, that'll be us. We'll talk about that. We'll talk about the future of Texas baseball and, of course, the best quarterback in the nation, Arch Manning. That does it for us. My name's Harish. These are my boys, Josh and Ryan. We're out of here. Peace.
On 1 out snap, it's a fact that I'm unstoppable.